burnout is like change fatigue 10x. It's just a whole nother level. And before the pandemic, the World Health Organization had identified it as one of the biggest global workplace challenges. And we know that burnout got worse through the pandemic because the pandemic was a huge amount of change that was also put on everyone. So burnout has three components. It's a medically diagnosable state of exhaustion, and there's three parts. So the first is emotional exhaustion, what you'd think. It's the fatigue that comes from caring too much for too long, and the symptoms are chronic fatigue, but cruelly insomnia. You are exhausted, but you just can't sleep. That leads to impaired concentration or forgetfulness. People are quicker to anger. They're more likely to get sick. Anxiety and depression goes up. And some people have physical symptoms like heart palpitations, chest pain, stomach pain, dizziness, headaches, that kind of thing. The second component is called lack of accomplishment. And that's the unconquerable sense of futility, feeling that nothing you do makes any difference. So the symbol I use for this is kind of you're running on that gerbil wheel and you're going round and round and you're not getting anywhere. And this leads to feelings of apathy and hopelessness. People get more irritable, they get less productive, and that leads to a lower performance. This is the one that I think drove the great resignation, is that people were really burned out, but how it was showing up in their lives is like, I used to like this job and I don't feel it anymore. Or I used to like this team, but I just feel meh all the time. And so people thought, oh, I guess I should go get a new job, when really what they needed to do was focus on their burnout. And then the third component, and we all saw this play out. Remember at the pandemic, at 7 p.m., we'd all go out and applaud the healthcare workers. And then at some point we stopped, and then eventually they became targets. It's depletion of empathy. So we become more detached and we depersonalize because we just have no more caring or compassion to give. What's really sad about this component is there's loss of enjoyment. And so you're losing enjoyment in anything that used to make you happy. It's just all kind of leaching away. And that leads people to become more isolated, disconnected, detached. And sadly, this is not only for other people, but it's even for themselves. So what's problematic about burnout is by the time you realize you're in trouble, you don't have the energy to get yourself back out of it. It almost always needs outside intervention. And medical professionals call burnout the erosion of the soul because it slowly just takes away the things that gave you joy.